I was going to be after the break, so this is but anyway, so 10 years ago, I delivered a talk at TEDx Jacksonville, in which I got a lot of great assistance from Babs and many coaches. And the topic of that talk was how I got hijacked by fearful thinking and anxiety in response to my wife Nancy's cancer diagnosis. And how I dealt with that issue and had to work through it, and how I had to get out of my fearful thoughts and into my inner strength and inner courage. This story is the story of how I went about telling that particular story, because it was one of the highest stakes performances of my entire life. And so I'll take you to the week before. I'm feeling pretty good, working on refining my script that I've been working on for 2 or 3 months. I go and I start to share it with Nancy to get some advice from her, and she read it and she said, well, that's not the way it happened. And I said, yes, this is the way it happened. And then she would say, no, but this is my story. And I said, no, this is my story about your story. So that continued to go through this kind of ridiculous loop until I realized that what I really needed to do was to trust my own instincts and untether myself from reviewing the script with anyone else. That was the first lesson learned right then and there. So the rehearsal the night before went terrific. I mean, I couldn't have gone better. I was relaxed. I was delivering it, and every word in that script I had fallen in love with. I'd become attached to, and I was so excited about what was going to come the next day. Next day arrives, show up at the sound stage at WJCT, which is actually the largest sound stage between Atlanta and Orlando. And one of the things that my advisors had told me to do was do not dwell on the script. Spend every moment connecting with people, so that by the time you get on stage, everybody will be your friend. It was great. It was actually really good. So I got through the morning. Now my talk was the afternoon, just after lunch. So I had a little idle time. And I decided to walk outside and pull the script up. And to review it again, I started thinking, that doesn't sound as good as I thought it would. Maybe I need to modify it. And then after about 5 minutes of that, I got hit with the most intensive wave of fear I ever had in my life. All that excitement turned to dread. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. What I really want to do is I want to run out to Metropolitan Park, lie on a bench, bask in the sun, tell them that I got food poisoning from a bad lunch or something, but I just wanted to run away from the entire experience. And then there was a thought that infected my thinking, and that was, I saw these cameras, and I said, they publish this on YouTube. If I screw this up, this performance will be on YouTube for the rest of my life, being exposed to 2.6 billion active listeners every month. I freaked out. I didn't know what to do, so I run into the bathroom. I go into a bathroom stall, and I learned this technique. If you ever saw Amy Cuddy's power pose, if you actually go and for 2 minutes, you hold your arms up like this, it significantly raises testosterone, which is the power hormone, and it significantly lowers the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So that worked, and I got on stage. 20 minutes later, I'm on stage. Things are going pretty well, until I look down, and I notice that my slides were out of sync. My words. But not only that, I had forgotten to deliver the most important line, the one that I had practiced over and over and over again. And I was right at the precipice of either having a meltdown or doing something that the audience would notice that I was not in a good place. Then all of a sudden this thought came into my mind. This is what she helped me with. And the thought was this loud voice that said, "Fuck it! I'm off the script." I said, I don't know what happened after that. I finished it. I cannot remember what I said. And so I walked off the stage to an enthusiastic round of applause, sat down next to my coach, Sarah Clark Stewart. She looked at me, she said, "Ted, did you see what you did up there?" And I'm like, that was terrible. That was awful. All I could think about was the line that I missed, that I had practiced over and over again. And it wasn't until later on that day when we went out and they had little pictures of us they were putting up there that would indicate, are you likely to share this story? And I said, okay, well, maybe I didn't start too bad. And then eventually the talk took off and it went viral and got 500,000 views and all of that. But it took me weeks and weeks and weeks to recover from that and to recognize that I did. Now I'm a little wiser, 10 years later, so I'm less likely to go into that kind of place, but I still do it every now and then. And you know what I say to myself when I go to that place? Ready? Fuck it, I'm off the set.